Gentlemen, you are the top 1% of all naval aviators. The elite.
So what do I think about Top Gun Maverick? Obviously extremely biased because I helped write the original screenplay from June of 2017 till January of 18. I worked, basically one-on-one with the director and writer to go literally line by line through that screenplay to make it ready for Navy review. And as a Tomcat guy, I was brought in because I was available and also having some Tomcat experience. The director asked me, hey, I need you to make sure that when a Tomcat pilot or RIO sees this movie, they talk to somebody. So make sure we get it right. I said, roger that.
I was privileged enough to be one of the Navy advisors early on in the movie, and I remember getting the first script, and I got towards the end, and lo and behold, they're resurrecting the Tomcat.
I appreciate the fact that they listened to me, us, Chaser and I, as we, he gave them the reality of, here's some things you have to do that's going to give credibility to the movie. And I do appreciate that they listened, which says a lot about the director and the writer.
Fast forward, later in the script, there's this acquiring of an enemy Tomcat, and that posed some challenges. Good news for those of us that have been around, especially in the F-14 community, we got a lot of connections, and particularly here in San Diego. So when the script called for an F-14, there were some options. There was one up in Riverside. I think there was one on Hornet up in Alameda. There's certainly one on Midway in San Diego, but those are on the carriers. You would have had to crane them off, but a good friend of mine, he runs the Air and Space Museum here in San Diego. That was a quick call. Slug, you got a Tomcat sitting out at Gillespie Field doing nothing. We want to use it for the movie. Immediate answer was yes. Worked that through the Navy channels. And that's how we got the jet. Of course, the scenes weren't shot here in San Diego. That required getting the jet, taking it mostly apart, putting it on some big trucks, going up to Lake Tahoe and shooting all those scenes in the movie, then putting it back together, bringing it back to San Diego, then craning it on board an actual aircraft carrier for all the scenes that you see out on the carrier. So that when we got the go for the jet, I just kindly asked the movie people I was working with, please don't break it. My reputation's kind of on the line, and they did the best they could. They got the jet back. It looks fine now, but the technical challenges of taking an F-14, ripping it apart, transporting it to other locations, including putting it on an actual aircraft carrier, putting it all back in one piece, and then giving it back to the Air and Space Museum here in San Diego. It was pretty unique and challenging, but I'm glad we did it. It was a great effort.
So when I was revealed what the plot was about stealing the Tomcat, which I thought was fantastic, and then I said, okay, we're gonna steal this Tomcat, we got to get the startup procedure right. Because if we don't, we're gonna get laughed at by every Tomcat pilot and RIO in the world.
Well, the whole idea of resurrecting the Tomcat is the baseline of the first movie, which was a iconic hit in the 80s, is bring some of that back. And so we spent a lot of time on this, was if you're gonna take a Tomcat from somebody else, you gotta do it right. And so that scene is not made up. I think it would have detracted from the movie if they'd have just pushed a magic start button. But the way they acquire the jet is exactly how you do it. It's been done before, and that's why we wrote it that way. You need air power, you need electrical, and you need a RIO that knows how to start it, button it all up, climb on the horizontal stab, walk over the back of the airplane, jump in, and go. And the way that came out in the movie was picture perfect. I got a lot of compliments after the movie, folks calling me up saying, hey Chaser, you guys got that scene right. And we also did a lot of emphasis on the circuit breakers in the back, and even though the jet's is old, by today's standards in the movie, put the right person in that jet and you can still kick some ass.